Coming up today on This Is True Really News.
Christmas?
All about jalapenos. It's one of Tony's favorite spices.
I hate jalapenos.
Oh, you're going to love them by the time we're done here.
No,
you are going to love them. You will love them.
Are there bets being taken? Because I think Vegas would take your money.
Please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News if you want to hear the true story of Tony eating jalapenos the wrong way.
We are not telling that story.
It says you.
Yeah.
Leave any comments right where you found us, or if it's something longer or you really got to real snark at us, send it to TITR@netradio.network.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
Yeah. Did we talk about giraffe feces at Twin Cities International?
I don't think so.
I have two short stories, and they're very weird.
All right, go.
When customs officials seized a box of giraffe poo at Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport, it was like, I don't know, a little over a year ago. They naturally were, how you say, curious about why the traveler from Iowa was bringing poop home from a trip to Kenya. I believe the phrase is, "What is that stuff?"
I got a bunch of stuff in poop. HR stuff and poop. Yeah, da 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 da
No,
da.
it's HR poop and stuff.
Ah,
Yeah, every young boy ever. About the time you were in middle school, that was what you had to sing. CBP said the traveler had obtained the droppings in Kenya and planned to make, you're going to want to swallow that, a necklace
oh, good God.
out of giraffe dew.
Apparently, you use the giraffe dew for the taller people in your life.
I would guess.
Yeah.
Those, you know how some people have longer necks?
Yep.
Like most offensive linemen in football would not have.
No, because they don't have
They would have it
necks.
like a zebra,
Yeah, something like that, or a.
maybe hyena.
I was more like a hippo.
He looks good in hyena.
You know, hippos fart through their mouth.
Yeah. The passenger also stated in the past that she had used moose poo at her home in Iowa.
For what?
She makes jewelry out of,
Feces.
let's just say she makes
Jewelry and.
jewelry. Okay, because these two seem to fit together.
Okay.
Unexpected, right? A perplexed homeowner dialed 911 after a U.S. Marine Corps F-35 pilot landed in his backyard. It was in North Charleston, South Carolina.
Landed a plane there?
Or was it South Charleston, North Carolina?
Carolina.
I don't.
Just east of the.
No, he did not land the whole plane there.
Oh, he
The
parachuted.
pilot got on the phone then with the dispatcher and said, "I'm a pilot. Military aircraft had to eject. So I just rode a parachute down to the ground. Could you please send an ambulance?" I'm guessing that's protocol. If you eject, they're going to check you out.
Oh, they're going to have to because your spine is probably up through the top of your head.
So the question that remains in the back of your head,
Yeah, of course.
where is the plane?
Where the heck is the plane?
It was in the air for another 60 miles.
Then it did
wasn't.
what? It crashed?
Dost thou,
Yes.
yea and verily dost thou thinketh that an F-35 sans pilot could in fact landeth itself?
Well,
Nope, it crashed about 60 miles away.
I was going to say if it was Batman's plane, it could land itself.
So, well, of course, but that's Batman because, well, he's always prepared.
Jalapenos are often the pepper of choice for adding a little spice to any dish. But I warn you, if you're ever opening a new restaurant with your friend Tony, and he says, "Well, I've never really had jalapenos," and you say to him, "Eat the outside, not the seeds. The seeds are the things that are really hot," and then he goes and eats the seeds. Then you
Nope,
should
I
watch
was
out
told
for
the
him.
exact opposite.
You heard the exact opposite. This has been going on for what? Almost 4
No,
years?
it's because what Mustache Boy told me. We had a salesman once who drove back when Mustangs started looking like Mustangs again.
Yeah, that's true.
And we looked at it and he opens up the trunk and it's like, oh, I got a family, small trunk. He said, yeah, but all I need is for golf clubs. Perfect.
Yep.
So he said, I've never had jalapenos, not big into spices. You know, I'll just eat the seeds. They're not spicy.
Yeah, that's the problem. The seeds.
I haven't stopped sweating yet, and this was 30-some years ago.
That was hilarious. He just kept sweating and wiping his eyes. But guess what?
I was going to say something.
Okay, go right ahead.
But no, I mean then.
But you couldn't speak.
But not for days. We did the radio show in pantomime for a week.
Anyway, they've been using jalapenos for millennia. The horticulture of chili peppers in general dates back between 10 and 12,000 years.
Is millennia some kind of dish?
What?
So they've been using jalapenos for millennia. I've never heard of millennia.
Millennia is time, thousands of years. 10 to 12 thousands of years.
Oh.
10 to 12 millennia of years ago.
My Miss Tucky.
And they may have even been one of the first crops domesticated in America. They've been found, seeds have been found.
How do you raise your jalapenos? Well, I make sure they stay in their cage till they're potty trained.
Chili seeds
Then
have
I
been
plant
found
them out in the yard.
in 9,000-year-old Mexican
And I feed them to the fat guy next door.
archaeological sites, uncovered in 7,000-year-old caves in South America and described in the myths and rituals of indigenous cultures in Central and South America. But although there are many members of the capsicum genus, only one eventually became the predominant pepper for nachos and tacos in the U.S. And its namesake is the capital of the Mexican state of Veracruz.
Bill Veracruz.
Jalapa.
That's what I said. I was just saying in English.
Jalapa comes from the Nahuatl language spoken by Aztecs and other Mesoamerican groups. Don't ask me how I know how that's pronounced. I used to read textbooks for a living. The word...
Everybody did. It's called being a student.
No. I read them out loud.
I always do that. It's called being a student.
No.
You got paid to read textbooks?
Uh-huh. You couldn't read a
job.
textbook without running your finger along it. The word sali means sand, and apan means spring.
I'm on the line below, though.
And it was from
confuses my listeners.
This fertile spring in the sand that jalapenos first took root. Even today, residents of Jalapa are known as jalapeños, which simply means from Jalapa.
Is Jalapa, if you got a picture of the mayor, would he have cloven hooves and horn?
No, he would not.
Bet he would.
You racist puke.
They're hot as hell.
First domesticated in the Americas.
The worst part is that was jalapenos. They're nothing.
And they are. Jalapenos made the eastward journey across the Atlantic sometime in the mid-16th century, then spread worldwide through the vast expanse of Spanish and Portuguese empires.
Just a small jalapeno who had a dream.
Today, their popularity comes in part of...
He was going to see the world.
Their versatility. Delicious fresh, roasted, or pickled. They're also milder than some other popular peppers. And just so as you know...
Which is what Peter Piper told me.
Compared to habanero peppers, which coincidentally mean from Havana. It's true.
Really?
Yeah, it's the Prince Philip V. It's pronounced as a B. Habana, he would say Habana because of his speech impediment.
So be Franz Vilov?
Huh?
Or am I doing that backwards?
No, the V goes to B.
Okay, so the P goes to what?
Nothing. The P goes to P. He could say P. He couldn't say B. Or I mean V.
He's talking about it. So I'd be Burkenis?
You'd be Burkenis.
No, I have enough trouble with this already. Because that's the standard letter. How do you spell that? V, Victor. Got it.
Jalapenos are 35 times less spicy, according to the Scoville scale used to measure spiciness, from the habaneros, which means from Havana, Habana, Cabana.
So why don't they just call them habaneros?
They are habaneros. That makes them the habaneros because of the Prince Philip lisp.
We'll tell Prince Philip to figure it out.
Buckle up.
Did you watch the King's Speech? This can be fixed.
That helps them to become the go-to pepper for any Mexican-inspired recipe, at least for those of us who can't stand the heat. And for some of us who can't stand jalapenos, habanero. I'm done now.
I don't like spice. I'm of Germanic descent, basically.
Butter is about as hot as he gets.
That's spicy. I can do pepper. Little.
Black pepper?
Little.
Next to the plate.
No, I actually put it on the food.
Wow.
Thank you. In our house growing up, that was a spice. Tim Perry of Cranston, Rhode Island, was an over-the-top... Was? Let me try again. Tim Perry, who has two first names, of Cranston, Rhode Island, which has an actor's last name. Mm-hmm. Is he still in the U.S.? He was threatening to move somewhere else, by the way.
Who? Imogene Cranston?
And what's his duck from?
Bane Cranston.
What?
Bartholomew Cranston?
Brian.
I don't think that's it.
Remember he was the dad on Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes, I remember.
He was the dad again when he was making drugs.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
Still one of Drew's favorite shows, I think.
What? I can't think of the name of it now.
Breaking Bad.
Tim Perry of Bryan Cranston, Rhode Island, has an over-the-top way of celebrating ye olde Halloween.
Really?
According to WJAR TV and WJAR. William Jenner, I don't know. His favorite horror movie, House of a Thousand Corpses. Oh, jeez.
I like He Spits Upon Your Grave.
See, I still blame that silly, stupid, really poorly done movie, which I have seen once or twice. That's what started the whole slasher craze.
Which one?
Whereas He Spits Upon Your Grave.
Oh, yeah?
That's when it all of a sudden became, we don't have to scare them, we just have to gross them out a lot so they cringe.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Anyway, House of a Thousand Corpses inspired him to create House of a Thousand Pumpkins. I'm having a hard time with the, unless he does what Calvin does with, remember Calvin and Hobbes and Calvin
I
Snowman?
loved what he did with those pumpkins.
But he did with snowmen.
Oh, that's
Remember?
true. He did.
He's your son, you know. No, that was...
No, that was like a line. He's your son.
He's your son, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many of the neighbors have called was another one.
Yeah, my son would never slug a principal. You know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. His collection is over 1,400 now, by the way, at last pumpkin count. He carves about 200 more craft pumpkins each year, starting about October 1st, adds to his display outside the home. Is he married?
No.
To a saint?
Maybe.
It would have to be. Everybody thanks me for doing it, Perry said. Everybody?
Really?
They look forward to it every year.
Is that everybody there really there?
Yeah. Can I see them if they're there?
Are they here right now?
Although he did say the kids go nuts for it, and I believe that part.
That I buy.
Through a Facebook fundraiser, by the way, he also collects donations to help families affected by cancer.
Oh, what a great idea.
It is. I still can't figure out how you get from House of a Thousand Corpses, which I actually
have seen.
I've seen parts of it.
Okay.
How do you get from there to House of a Thousand Pumpkins except title?
Yeah, that's all. That's the only way you can do it.
Tell me it's just a title and I'll be a happy camper.
It's just the title, Tony.
Thank you. I am now a happy camper.
From NBC News via Ronnie Tucker.
Ronnie.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Please make your seat back straight. Put away your tray.
Oh.
And sit quietly for the flight.
Can I tug the chick's hair because she flips over the chair?
Yes.
Okay.
Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Colin were on a Qatar Airways flight from Melbourne to Doha, the Qatari.
Qatar? Mr. Qatar? His airline?
Qatar, the Qatar, Doha, the Qatari capital.
No, the teacher in Brooklyn.
No, not this. They don't have that kind of accent.
No one really has that kind of accent.
No one ever does.
Not even people in Brooklyn. Okay, go ahead.
Barbarino. About 10 hours about 10 hours into the flight.
I'm sorry, Horseshack was still.
A woman exited the restroom
Restaurant? What?
Restroom, and immediately threw her sandwich on the floor right in front of them.
Oh, that's not good.
The crew did everything they could, but unfortunately...
What did you do in that bathroom?
The lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch, Ring said. Ring said the flight crew looked a bit frustrated. Then they just looked at me and saw seats were available beside me.
No.
My wife was on the other side, and we were in a row of 4, Ring said. They said, "Can you scooch over?"
No.
He said, "Yes, no problem."
That's the wrong answer, sir.
Then they placed the lady in the chair I was in formerly. Qatar Airways, which is owned by the Qatari government, expressed their condolences to the family of the woman, which was nice, and they did. Apparently, they contacted them directly. The couple said the flight crew would not let them change seats for the rest of the flight and asked them to remain seated as medical staffers addressed the body upon landing.
That's the gross thing after all.
They added that
Icky, ookie, pookie, yuck.
that Qatar Airlines did not offer them any support after the fact. Couple's final destination was Venice, Italy, and they said they're still trying to salvage their trip.
What kind of... never mind.
I'm trying to make the best of a pretty hard situation, but we're on holidays, so we're really, really trying to have a good time, Collins said. What would you do? How do you wash that off?
Well, first of all, I would have said, no, I'm not moving.
Yeah, no chance in hell, lady.
Put them anywhere. You got first-class seats available? Put them up there.
Yeah, for sure. You sit them on the captain's
have them
lap.
drink themselves silly because...
I'm not moving.
No. I want to help. I want to be a good citizen.
But
Just not this time.
There's something in the back of my head that says, part of me would just go, whatever, things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, I'm still not moving, but yeah. I get it.
Pray for the lady, for Pete's sake.
Sir, scooch over. I'm 66, ma'am. I don't scooch.
Yeah, there's no scooch
There's
left
no more
in here.
scooching here.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.